Yo, what's up guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. The Shadow of a God by DirtyRippedPaper Chapter 16, Jeju Island Raid 2. All the ants here were somewhat weak. Is it that I'm too strong or they're too weak? Yay. I think I've gone way off the charts. I shouldn't get too cocky though. Who knows, maybe one day I'll find an opponent I can't beat. JinWoo. This raid has been pretty easy thanks to you. Cha Hae-in approached me with flushed cheeks. I'm pretty sure she's interested in Rimuru and I, since we're the only hunters without a scent. I'd rather not lead her on. It's clear I only hold one woman in my heart. Thank you, Cha. I gave her a smile. Defeating the ants around here was quite easy, too easy. It's really making me shiver. I looked at the other S-rankers. I'm definitely stronger than them. The only formidable foe here is Cha Hae-in. Min Byung-gyu isn't combat-centered, he's rather a good healer, the best. It's a shame I don't need him, nor her. I was so lost in thought until it felt like something pierced through my soul. An energy like no other. In the corner of my eye, I saw a monster. It was a monster outside and inside, for this magical energy to come from one single being. It's exciting. Fear struck the hearts of the S-rankers. They're no match for a monster of this level. He's strong. Possibly one of the strongest I've seen up to this point. He would make a fine shadow soldier. A grin snuck up on my face. No, I shook my head to get the grin off my face. This isn't a time to be smiling. I glanced at Cha Hae-in. I've heard she has a sensitive nose. With such a powerful energy like this, she must be nauseated. A magical energy like this must be enough to cause her a nosebleed. Her knees trembled as she fell to the ground. Man, this monster is no joke. Each step the monster took made the S-rankers cower in fear. They can't stand still like this forever. We need to hurry up and take care of this thing. As the monster approached us, I quickly took on a stance. Surprisingly, it just passed by. Instead, it approached the carcass of the queen ant, ignoring all of us. As if it was mourning the loss of its queen, a shriek was heard. Full of pain and agony, strangely, it was familiar to me. Its cry sent the S-rankers on their knees, with no one but I left standing. Cha Hae-in stood back up, staggering. She looked at me with eyes that pleaded for help. I mean, that's what I was here for. The monster, now filled with rage, tried to land a punch on Cha Hae-in. Luckily I caught him. Had he landed that punch, then Cha Hae-in might have been in critical condition. He's quite fast. A formidable foe indeed, a strong energy. All of us were alerted by this monster speaking. A monster that speaks in the human tongue. How? This isn't possible, at least until now. The cameraman was trembling. His legs eventually gave out as he stared at the scene upon him. But he had to fulfill his duties of filming what happens during this raid. As I held this ant, I summoned my shadow soldiers. In this dim cave, it was as if I was the only light illuminating the interior of it. Like I was a beacon of hope, these S-rankers watched me handle this ant. They somehow knew if they fought with this ant, they wouldn't be able to win, even before taking the risk. I let go of the ant and jumped a few steps back. Take care of these foes, my soldiers. I directed them to the swarm of ants on our way. The ant and I locked eyes with one another as our armies clashed. I applaud him. He definitely is a strong one, no doubt. It's just a shame that I'm stronger. My soldiers were winning against the fight with the ants. It was evident they would. As the fight continued with the ant and I merely standing, with locked eyes on one another, I needed to change the pace. I glanced at the corpses of the ants, laying on the ground. I reached my hand out, arise. All of the people present in this area were counting on me. Their eyes looked at me with hope. If I told them how I was a necromancer, would I be looked at like a villain? Yay. Usually in pieces of fiction, people with the power to revive the dead are usually the villains. I can see why I have the possibility of getting attacked over being a necromancer by the media. Whatever, I guess. It doesn't matter to me what people think about me. I don't really understand this situation. The ants. They seem to be tearing apart. The other ants? The cameraman disrupted my flow of thoughts with his commentary during the broadcast. What a way to ruin my mood. The ant took a side glance at Min Byung-gyu. Min Byung-gyu was busy tending to the injured S ranks. This monster is gonna attack Min Byung-gyu, isn't it? That is the most logical decision. It must think that Min Byung-gyu is the reason why I'm still picking a fight with him. Min Byung-gyu is a really good asset to the team. It would be a loss for Korea if it were to lose another S rank during the 4th Jeju Island raid. The monster quickly took off, aiming to pierce through Min Byung-gyu. Its claws, as sharp, no, sharper than a blade, was aiming for the man. With merely an inch's distance, I managed to stop it before it touched the man's back. Your opponent is me. My eyes stabbed him as I prolonged my stare. He faltered as soon as our eyes met. Are you the king of humans? I scoffed. How cute. A bug is talking. I inched closer to him, who was backing away. He quickly changed moods at my words. He must not like being called a bug. Are you truly human? What a fierce aura. Stronger than the one I met outside, yet I don't have the same sense of fear. My eye twitched. You yap a lot. Insulted, it screamed. Now you're acting like the bug you are. Fueled by the anger of being insulted, it took an attempt to hit me. The ground was smashed into pebbles, and smoke filled the area. He must have taken a direct hit from the monster. Shit. This is what happens when a mage gets put on the front lines. It seems you were not the king after all. Weak. The smoke cleared up, making the ant's eyes widen as it took a look at me. Did you think I'd die that easily? I laughed. After that hit, I'm annoyed now. Open hollow corner bracket skill. You have activated the Dominator's Touch. Close hollow corner bracket. I put strength into my fist, curled into a ball, and sent it hurling at him. Insolence shall not be rewarded. The ant flew against the wall, almost smashing it to pebbles. The hunters looked at me in shock. Every single hunter doubted my class. Whether I was a mage, an assassin, or a fighter, I guess I can be called an ace. No, I can't steal that from Rimuru. She already claimed it as her own. I'll think of something. I opened my eyes to see the ant rushing at me, furious. Its cries were loud to the point it was deafening. It's so needlessly tough. Is it because of its exoskeleton? If Rimuru were here, then this fight would have been finished earlier. I would use the blessing, but who knows what could happen in 2 days. I'm confident as well that I'll be able to beat this monster. What a pain in the ass. I clenched my fist. It attempted to pounce at me, to which I successfully blocked. The force made the ground crumble even more. I wasn't going to be all block, so I decided to attack it. My fist collided with its cold, hard body. It wasn't as affected by the punch compared to earlier, given how he managed to send a punch back at me. Smoke filled the area once more. I could barely make out the silhouette of my opponent through this smoke. Was it scared? Was it enraged? What was it feeling? What was its next move? I was suddenly in front of its fist, inches away from me. Our fists met, and its sound reverberated through the area. It looks like I cracked his shell. With some sort of fear, it backed away. I chased after it, landing another punch. Its defense was to poison me, was it? I backed away. I kneeled on the ground, taking my time to heal. I stared at the ground. Would these people have died if I didn't go on this raid? Maybe Min Byung-gyu would have been the first to go. This monster clearly knew he was a hindrance. What would have happened if I didn't go like my initial plan was? Rimuru. She would have taken care of it. If she was just going to leave me in this cave alone with them, then why'd she even bother coming along? At least take responsibility and stick with me in here. How unfortunate. Human. Die. Annoying. Everyone is so annoying. I moved my head and saw the ant's claws, reaching for me from above. I should finish this quick. I held its claws. What? It flinched. It must have expected me to be at my final straw after getting caught by its poison. I threw him against the wall, fueled by annoyance. Open hollow corner bracket. The poison has been neutralized. Close hollow corner bracket. Perhaps it's because my perception has improved. I can perceive his feelings. He's getting nervous for sure. However, I am too. I have to get back home to my mom and to JinWoo. Together with Rimuru and these guys. This'll have to end as soon as possible. I pounced on the ant, putting all of my strength in my leg, attempting a kick on him. He was good at dodging. How much longer can he dodge? Does he wish to prolong this? He changed his size. After losing the contest of strength, he wants to compete in a contest of agility? Don't be so annoying. He chased after me, aiming to kill me. He had more confidence than before. Luckily I dodged it. I snuck up at him and slashed at him using my dagger. We exchanged attacks, with me winning overall. He was stubborn in fighting me, even if he kept getting pushed back. By this point, this fool has to realize that I will win in whatever contest there is between us two. You can't win, I taunted him. His exoskeleton has cracked considerably. It'll be in no time that I win this fight. I poured in more strength into my blows, attempting to make each one the final. Open hollow corner bracket skill. Critical hit has been activated. Close hollow corner bracket. The blows kept pouncing on him. Open hollow corner bracket skill. Critical hit has been upgraded to its final form. Critical chain. Close hollow corner bracket. Upgrade. Critical chain. Open hollow corner bracket. Critical chain LV. Max close hollow corner bracket. I was suddenly bombarded with this information about my skill that I almost lost the bug. He was attempting to flee. How dare he? Where do you think you're going? I held my arm out to him. Open hollow corner bracket skill. Critical chain has been activated. Close hollow corner bracket. A swarm of slashes attacked him. Not bad. I kept activating this skill with the bug as my target. As the time became longer, the more it shrieked in pain. Is it that painful? Something about the sight of this bug shrieking in pain got me riled up. It was annoying, definitely. I shouldn't prolong this. It's been more than enough time that I'd been fighting this bug. It was about to call its army, I suppose, so the fastest way was to shut its trap up. I closed the distance between us, about to slash my dagger at it, yet unfortunately I was met with a swarm of ants behind this bug. I had to fall back. There was no choice. I seem to be superior to you in this field, human. His words made me laugh uncontrollably that any outsider would think I was a lunatic. You make me laugh. Come forth, my soldiers. I made the soldiers rise from my shadows, facing the army of ants. Between the living and the dead. The dead will win so long it is mine. The living and the dead clashed. It felt somewhat poetic. Like a Renaissance painting. Man, if I knew how to paint, I'd definitely paint this scene right here. Tusk. Focus on the ants. If the humans were to even get a slight scratch or bruise, I won't summon you ever again. He nodded and began to attack the ants. His power is indeed strong. He's a great asset to my team. I glanced at the bug. So would that one as soon as I kill him. The inside of the cave was lit with flames. Flames that burned so hot you could feel your skin melting off. So bright it was near impossible to see through it. I cleared my path towards the bug of flames. I approached him without hiding my intention of killing him. He was crumbling at this very moment with nothing to help him. He had to take the gamble and flee. What a brat. Open hollow corner bracket skill. You have activated. Dominator's touch. Close hollow corner bracket. I held him down to the ground, smashing it to bits. Every part of his body crumbled except for the head. Its claws trembled. It kept trying to flee, barely even crawling. I took steps towards it. It was a bug. I would always reign above it. Please. Imitating the sound of a man crying for help. Disgusting. I stepped on his head, crushing it to bits. A bug is a bug at the end of the day. Open hollow corner bracket. You have defeated your foe. Close hollow corner bracket. Open hollow corner bracket. You have gained an additional 10 levels to your current level. Close hollow corner bracket. 10 levels, really? That's a pretty large amount. Hunter Sung Jin-woo. As I watched the sight of you fighting, I was definitely scared. If you were not here, not even all of us could have stood a chance against that monster. Min Byung-gyu approached me, bowing his head in gratitude. I just did what I needed to do. I didn't really let them have a chance of fighting the ant. Is that unfair? The cameraman approached me. Hunter Sung Jin-woo has single-handedly defeated the monster. It is thanks to Hunter Sung Jin-woo that the Jeju Island raid may now officially be called a success. This makes us the 7th team to have defeated an S-rank dungeon. His eyes beamed with admiration as he looked at me. The eyes of the hunters made me a little awkward. Wow, that's awesome, JinWoo. I felt someone hopping on my back. If she'd been here earlier, then the fight wouldn't have taken this long. Where have you been? I pushed her off my back, making her land on the ground. She pouted before answering, "Don't be so harsh. I had some business with the Japanese hunters." The cameraman looked somewhat frightened after hearing her words. Oh, right. The broadcast team would probably have to edit that out since it would just cause even more backlash on Rimuru. I smacked Rimuru on the back of her head. You don't think, do you? Her cheeks became red. I impulsively pinched her cheeks. They turn even redder when I pinch them. It makes sense for a skin as fair as hers to turn red at the slightest pinch. It hurts. Stop it, JinWoo, she hissed. Choi Jong-in interrupted me, holding my hand. Despite me being the one that killed the ant, technically being his savior, he still dares to glare at me. Man. Rimuru, what type of man did you charm? I believe she's uncomfortable. He gave a smile. What does he know about Rimuru? She doesn't even talk to him. He's just plain weird, but I'm willing to give him another chance. Maybe we just got off the wrong foot. I released my hand from his grip. Let's stay on friendly terms. His glare softened as soon as he realized I didn't want to pick a fight. Wow. Boo. Anyways, let's get out of here. Rimuru yawned and stretched, leading us out. We exited the cave, and saw a shit ton of ants flying in the sky. At a distance, I could see the Japanese hunters successfully killing some off. I should help them. She parted her hair and went leaping onto the sky. She unsheathed her katana. Did she polish it? It looks way better than I remember, yet it's definitely still the same old katana she used. A single slash from her katana was enough to kill all of the ants in the sky. Her skill never ceases to amaze me. The other hunters stared in awe at her. That's right. Rimuru is the greatest asset Korea could ever have. Look at this. Hunter Rimuru Tempest is single-handedly killing the thousands of ants hovering in the sky. After she left me and the S-rankers earlier to fend for ourselves in the cave, her reputation probably bottomed. Hopefully this act will save her dwindling reputation. I stared at my level. Open hollow corner bracket name. Sung Jin-woo. Level 100 close hollow corner bracket. What a feat. Pretty exciting. Ah, the ant from earlier. I have some business to attend to first. You guys go without me. I headed back to the cave. I walked through the dark interior of the cave until I met the ant's corpse. A fine shadow soldier is waiting for me. Arise. A darkness consumed me. What's with this darkness? I can't feel anything. I darted my eyes across the room. Is this from the shadow extraction skill I used on it? Is it a failure? Strangely enough, everything went back to normal after what, a minute. Open hollow corner bracket. The shadow extraction has succeeded. Close hollow corner bracket. And here I thought I had failed. I gazed upon my newest, and possibly my finest shadow soldier. Open hollow corner bracket. Level 1. Rank. General close hollow corner bracket. It's a rank I've never seen before. Normal, elite, knight, elite knight. The next must be general rank. It means that this brat really is the strongest out of all my shadows. Even stronger than Igra's. It's understandable. It was one strong monster when it was alive. My king. Please give me a name. The once monster now shadow spoke out. How can you talk to me? I was able to. Ha. Is it because he was able to talk when he was alive too? No. When Iron was a human he was able to talk, but he lost that ability once he became one of my shadow soldiers. Tusk is the same as well. The only difference is the ranking. I was the one that killed you. You're still willing to obey and follow me. I'm not dead, but reborn. By Liege's power. I have happiness overflowing inside of me. I will always follow you, my liege. Now I feel somewhat guilty. Jimmy or ant won't fit, huh? I laughed. I have plenty of other ant shadow soldiers besides him. So it should be a name that distinguishes him from these other ants. The famous author who wrote the novel, Ants, suddenly popped up in my mind. It should be fitting. Your name is Beru. I smiled. The feelings that emitted from him were clearly happiness. An overflowing amount of love and adoration. Thank you, my liege. Open hollow corner bracket Beru LV.1. Rank. General close hollow corner bracket. Should I make the Ant Queen my shadow soldier as well? I was cut off by a certain someone. She's useless as a shadow soldier. Don't you know anything about ants? I became dazed at her sudden appearance. Why are you here? Am I not allowed to be here? She chuckled. I rolled my eyes. Aren't you gonna ask why she'd be useless as a shadow soldier? I figured as such. I shrugged and left the cave. She followed behind me, pouting. Did you clear out all the ants? I asked her. Her face beamed at the question. Of course I did. What do you think of me? I felt a smile form on my face. She beams a lot. Yeah, she's happy a lot of times. It's strange. Wait, weren't the leftover ants quite a lot? Beru, how many ants were left over from the raid? A total of 4,000 ants, master. That girl must be insane. Did you really clear all of them out? That amount seems far-fetched, even for you. My eyes widened at her. That's nothing. You should see how many pests I wiped out before, she yawned. Before? Were you a gangster before? Is that why you moved countries? Her brows furrowed at my question. How dare you? I was raised in South Korea. I gave her a blank stare. I'm not even gonna begin to argue with her. A silence echoed through the island as Rimuru and I walked side by side. I opened my mouth, finally wishing to say what I'd been meaning to say since we've met. Rimuru, a stronger and unfamiliar voice overpowered my own as it called out, Rimuru-sama. The two of us stopped in our tracks as we stared at the black-haired man in front of us. I don't remember meeting him, yet Rimuru looks as if she's met him already. JinWoo, you should probably go first, she whispered. Why? Just do what I say, she groaned. I'm sure it's nothing, right? Open hollow corner bracket. Close hollow corner bracket. The man in front of me brought me shock. I asked him, what are you doing here? It wasn't that I was angry that he was here, it was purely surprise. My sentiment on you needing a guard in another world has not changed, so I decided to follow you, along with Benimaru, Rimuru-sama, he explained. I yelled, Benimaru is here too. Along with you, Diablo. He tilted his head in confusion. Yes, Rimuru-sama, is something of the matter? It's not necessarily bad that they're here. Though I wish they just informed me before they came here. Whatever. They're already here, so nothing I can do anymore. Where's Benimaru then? Why is it only you here? I asked him. His expression cracked at what I said. He cleared his throat before speaking. The other one is. Well, let's say that he's preoccupied with other things. Worry not. We will be moving to Korea now that we've found you, Rimuru-sama. Moving to Korea. Moving to Korea. You two are already called the pillars of Japan. Japan will crumble without you two. He was still confused. But if it's for Rimuru-sama, it should be okay. His eyes glistened, as if tears wanted to come out. Now where did he learn that trick? Honestly, it's working well. Fine. Move to Korea for all I care. But please tell me that you won't disappear on Japan abruptly, or you at least trained someone to fill in you guys' shoes. He thought for a bit and answered, yes. Benimaru and I did train Mikami Satoru to do what we did. Phew. When are you guys moving? Today. Today. How can you move in one day? Do you even have enough money? Rimuru-sama, the two of us are S ranks, and we are considered the pillars of Japan. Surely you don't think we may be getting paid mere cents. He's right. I mean, even as a B rank with no guild, I myself had enough money to get by. At last, we'll be reunited, Rimuru-sama, he beamed. Oh. Yay, I guess. Choi Jong-in was my most formidable suitor. But now that those three are moving to Korea, he'd be bumped down. I'm not so dense that I can't notice that literally everyone in my world would want to marry me. Especially my patrons, gosh. But of course, I can't give them what I want. I just hope they don't push on it further. Rimuru-sama, he called out to me with love. There was only an inch of distance between us as we stood face to face. Yes. Let's go home together, he suggested. Did you already buy an apartment room? He chuckled. I bought the one next to yours, Rimuru-sama. Someone lived there just yesterday. Lunatic. He only gave a satisfactory smile in response. Then, let's go home. Korea would be getting 2 new S ranks since Benimaru and Diablo are moving today. They weren't exactly publicized, so nobody would know they were the 3 pillars of Japan. I wonder how life's gonna be like now that they're here.